Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's Steady Eddie here. It's Sunday afternoon. It's the weather's a bit, sort of hit and miss, which is a polite way of saying that it's crap. But never mind anyway. Sunday afternoon. Now, apologies first of all for not coming here on Friday night. I like to be reliable, but I was just too tired. I had a bit of a hectic week last week, and if you're too tired and you can't give it 100%, it's not going to do anyone any good. Anyway, if you are watching this on replay, then hello, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you've had a lovely day, and welcome and all the rest of it. Cheers. Okay. So anyway, let's see who's here. Brian Street, nice to hear from you, mate. Just got back from church. Thank God for Mr. Ed, because I never got any lead. Thank God for Mr. Ed, because I never got any lead. There's a poem in there somewhere, isn't it? Anyway, nice to hear from you, Brian. Nice to hear from you. Yours Travels. Afternoon, guys. Now, I can't make it with that live. And my little nephew's party. Oh, that sounds good. Jelly and custard and funny hats. I like that. I like that. Hope everyone as well. Okay, cheers anyway. Okay, well, you have a lovely day, yours anyway. We'll speak to you soon anyway, mate. Okay, Brian Street. Cy London. Keep cash. Okay. Okay. So that's what I say to those those riffraff, in the town centre when they come up to me. That's my new line. When those riffraff come up to you and say, hey, mate, can you do us a favour? I'll say, I'm keeping my cash. That's what you say. That is it. Cy London has got it. That's it. Okay. Cheers, mate. Richard O. How's it going? Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Seamus Doherty is here. Hello. Wayne Ritchie. Hi, Eddie and everyone. It's 8 a.m. in the USA, and I'm up and ready for your great live stream show. Well, the up and ready bit's true anyway. Okay, cheers, mate. Bottle Baby, nice to hear from you. Barry from EastEnders, good afternoon. Stephen O'Connor is here. Greetings from Non-Pen. I know this is good. Nice to hear from you, Steve, because the world has different time zones, and Steve can't usually make it to the other streams through the week, obviously. But yeah, it's good to have him here. I hope all's well, Steve. Anyway, I hope things are good in Non-Pen. I'm missing that place. Barry from EastEnders. Okay. Boohoo. Nice to hear from you. The Fonz is here. Capitonian is here. Oh, got Cape Town in here. Capitonian, greetings from Cape Town. Let's talk a little bit about that. South Africa is not a country that I know very well. It's not a country that I've never actually been there. So maybe Capitonian wants to tell us a little bit about Cape Town and what it's all about. The Fonz is here. Hey, okay. Mr. Tidy Garden. Hi, Eddie. Hope you do well. I'm sitting in Doha Airport, going to Pattaya for 2 weeks. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I hope you're having a good. Doha. Which country is that again? Which country is that? But anyway, one of those Middle Eastern countries. Have a good time, mate. Yogi Bear is here. Good afternoon, Ed, and good afternoon to all the gang. You pick your times, Ed. Zulu is on. Oh my God! Oh my! You've probably only seen it about 73 times. I've seen it about 73 times. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Well, remember the Welsh guards on it. What is that? I can't remember the words, but it goes something like la 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 la. That's what the Welsh guards do anyway. Okay. By the way, in case you probably seen it before, but the good guys win. Okay, Wayne Davidson, thank you, my friend. Thank you for that super chat. That is really kind of you, Wayne. I hope you're doing well. Wayne's going out to Thailand later in the year, and we can't wait for his report on it. Wayne, that's really kind of you. Now, there's another super chat here, but I think that might be a little bit of a mistake, Wayne. Anyway, so hopefully you'll correct that soon. Anyway, cheers for that, mate. Appreciate it. Wayne Ritchie, you was right about the Titan sub when you said a lot more will be coming out, and I read it a lot. So sad. A lot more because Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's recall saying that. A lot coming out about the Titans. Yeah, it's very sad. But it's very, very sad. But I mean, they made the decision. It's like what we were talking the other week about the Isle of Man TT races. I mean, they want to risk their lives doing something that they love. I mean, a lot of people in the world thought it was a bit bizarre and it was misadventure, and that's probably the verdict. They died of misadventure. But at the end of the day, they made the decision, didn't they? So well, it's whatever. Can't I say any more than that? William O1, all in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Okay, I like that Pink Floyd song when it first come out years ago, but I find it quite annoying, that one now. Hi Eddie, no sounds. Okay. Does that mean that you can't hear me? Let's see. Shane Rannet, nice to hear from you, Shane. Nice to hear from you. Who's that? Yogi Bear, the Men of Harlech. Yeah, that's what was the name of that? What was the name of that actor, the big Welsh guy who was in it? The singer. He was in it. And as I seem to recall, the story is that when they were making Zulu, Michael Caine told this story years later. He said that Welsh guy, I can't remember his name, might have been Ivor Novello or either something or other. But he was tipped to go on to become a big star. And Michael Caine, who was also in the movie, that was his big break, that movie. He was respectful of the fact that Welsh guy was going to go on to become a big star. And the story is that Michael Caine was opening doors for him and treating him like a lord and all this kind of stuff. And it turned out the other way around, didn't it? Popcorn. Afternoon, lads. I can't stand weekend TV, full of bloody kookery programs. What even is brunch? Brunch, you'd have to be a real pig to eat brunch, wouldn't you? I mean, people have breakfast, they have their dinner, they have their tea later, in the evening time. I mean, between breakfast and dinner, you have something called brunch. You have something called brunch. I mean, what the hell's what is? You have to be a greedy bastard. If you're supposed to have a big breakfast, and then if you have brunch a couple of hours later, and then you still want your dinner, I mean, you must be a greedy bastard. You know what I mean? Greedy bastard. Anyway, full of bloody kookery pro. I don't get it. I don't get that. That craze about Gordon, Gordon F. and Ramsay and Jamie, whatever his name is, School Dinners Oliver and all that. I mean, I prefer the olden days of Fanny and Johnny. When I was a kid, the kookery program was Fanny Craddock and her husband Johnny. Fanny and Johnny, what more can you possibly want than that? Bring them back. Pinball says Ivor Emmanuel. Yeah, you're right. Ivor Emmanuel. Drinking coffee. Nice. Okay. Yogi Bear, Ed, it was nice to see the court handing out some decent sentence on Friday. 48 and 42 years. Yeah, I this was the shooting, the deliberate, accidental shooting. I mean, some person thing, sprayed a restaurant and a bar on Christmas Eve, I believe it was, and killed, a lovely young lady in Liverpool and injured others. But I mean, it's absolutely. I can't really talk about that. I mean, the guy's rightly being banged up in prison until his old age. But it's dreadful. But I think it just depressed me to talk about that. So I'm glad that he's actually got that sentence anyway. Feel very, very sad for the young lady who was just having a night out, and Jesus Christ. Anyway, Popcorn, Ivor Emmanuel, yes. Yeah, random guy. Who was the naughty BBC presenter paying for porno pics? Well, he hasn't been named, and hopefully nobody else will name him. But I bet somebody will. But I don't know. Dirty bastard. And he paid 35 grand for a series of porno pics. A young teenager, I believe it was 17, was it? To take, dirty pics, and this bloody BBC pervert. is paying 35 grand. This what we paying the licensing fee for? Is this what we pay the licensing fee? So a dirty pervert can pay a teenager for porno pics 35 grand. It's bloody stupid. It's absolutely stupid. They're all perverts. Lewis say, need more Fanny on the TV. Lewis, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Preferably the hairy variety, like in the good old days. Bart Simpson, lots of strikes at Heathrow. You better name it a place where they're not striking. Yeah, Sean Harris, nice to hear from you, Sean. The hospital scenes in Zulu were all filmed in England. The actors never got to SA when you watch the movie. The cuts can actually notice. Whatever. Wonderful movie. Absolutely amazing. One of the best films ever. Super Stephen, hi Eddie, when are you going to Thailand again? I haven't decided yet, mate. I haven't decided. Yogi Bear. I would say that the BBC are paying too much money to be able to waste money like that. We don't know the full story yet. We don't know who it is or what the full story is. But to pay 35 grand, £35,000, you could buy a very, very luxurious car for 35 grand. You could do a lot of things with it, but most people don't earn 35 grand in a whole year in the United Kingdom. And this pervert was paying that amount of money for porno pics or, explicit sexy pics from a teenager. It's disgusting. It's just the whole. Not only is he a pervert, the whole bloody system is perverted. It's terrible. The BBC likes me. Let them pay all of that money back to the poor bastards who need it. Cabatoni, Eddie, as per your comment, you should consider coming down here in your next trip. Fantastic area, cheap for you. Really. You talk about South Africa here, Cape Town. Now, you say that. Is that actually where you're from, Cabatoni? Is that where you come from? Because I watch a guy called Sepenza, and he's I think he lives in America now, but he's a white South African originally. And he hates the country and he hates everything about it. And he's very hostile to it. And he urges people to get out of there and never to go there and all the rest of it. And then he went to live in China and like that didn't quite pan out. So now he's somewhere else. Now I watch him and he's good, but he's very, very hostile towards South Africa. And I don't know if you've ever seen this guy. But I can't really comment on a country I've never been to. But you say it's a fantastic area. Okay. Tell us more. Yeah. Bobby Crush. I can't reveal the name of the BBC celebrity, but I can tell you it's all the young boy to flog it. I can't say anymore. Okay. Bobby Crush. It's disgusting. Why would Compo have lasted a summer wine paper naked? You could probably say that he's probably dead by now. Repair shop. I can't stand the South African accent. I'd take that one with a pinch of salt. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I happen to come from a city originally where English people can't stand my bloody accent, so I don't care about any of that. Toby Price, LOL from rainy season. LOL from Chambly. Rainy season has arrived. Rainy season has arrived in Thailand. In England, it's never been anywhere. It's always been with us. I hope you're having a good day, mate. King, as Eddie caught up with last week's chat, yeah, okay. David Williams, it was ruined South Africa. Well, what it is, it was ruined South Africa. I've heard it's a very corrupt country. I don't like commenting on countries that I've never been to, but I've heard that it's very, very corrupt and people are, pocketing the money that should be going to good causes. And I've heard that, there's not a great deal of electricity and power cuts are quite frequent. And if I was doing a stream like this in South Africa, there'd probably be a bloody power cut by now. So, let's see. Okay. Ian Bowden, mate nearly got shot in South Africa last year. The mob tried to nick his rental car, but mate escaped with a brick through the driver's window. I must admit, if I was to, I've never ever driven abroad. I just don't, I don't drive when I'm abroad. I do enough driving in England, but I don't drive when I'm abroad. And if I was in a place like South Africa, the stories of, you see, the thing is, a lot of these dangerous countries are a lot more dangerous once you start driving because you're in a you may be a competent driver, but you're in a place that you don't know too well. And carjacking, that place is a bit notorious for carjackings and that sort of stuff. So I'd give that a miss. Yeah, who's this? Ed, why do women expect a man to pay for the meal on a first date? My rule is whoever's idea it was to go on a date, i.e. a meal, should pay for the meal. That's why I always wait for the woman to ask me. And that's why you never get anywhere. That's why. Okay. Why do women expect a man to pay for the meal on a first date? I think you've cut that one short a bit. They also expect you to pay for the meal on the second date and on the third date and on the fourth, etc., etc. Let's not forget that bit. In Bowden, Britain will be like South Africa within a decade. Wish we had their weather. Liam Doherty, looking down the head, easy. Okay, fine, thank you. Why feels nice to hear from you. Capitonian, yes, third generation South African. Dad's family Italian, mom's family British. Serpenza comes from Joburg, so don't really blame his negativity. Cape Town or the Western Cape is run by the DA. Okay, fair enough. He comes from Johannesburg. Well, I've not heard good reports about that one. Okay, fair enough. It was Kings. I wonder who the BBC presenter is. He must be famous. Well, I've heard that. It's a bit of a disappointment. As someone who doesn't watch the BBC, I mean, I was hoping that it was going to be someone really, really famous, like someone with big ears who presents Match of the Day or something like that. That would be fun, but apparently it isn't. Capitan, DA is the only official opposition. It's the only one that's well run. Okay. Let's see, Stephen O'Connor, loads of South Africans here in Phnom Penh. They say mostly negative things about it and are happy to leave. Yeah, well, yeah, loads of South. Yeah, I don't know. I'm only hearing bad reports about the place, but I don't know the country, so it wouldn't be fair. I can only go what other people say. But Capitonian, he seems to like Cape Town. Let's see. Ian Bowden, Sunday roast today. No, I'm not having a Sunday roast. Oh, I'll have roast potatoes, but I'll have it maybe with sausages and gravy and maybe a bit of veg. I'm not enjoying the meat. I've been having chicken. Every time I bought chicken from the co-op, I just don't enjoy it. And I just don't enjoy it. And the steak, I don't really enjoy it so much. So I'm not really, and I'm also cutting down on my food. So I'm doing it bit by bit. I'm not going on a mad diet, but I'm cutting down on it a bit. Rudolph Jacobs, wish all in this channel a great afternoon, and I do too. Nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you, Rudolph. Yeah, Popcorn. I wonder if the BBC will edit them out of the Queen's funeral and Charles' coronation footage, like they do with Top of the Pops. I can't. Yeah, I've heard rumors about it. Oh, but they're all bloody. Oh, pervert. What another pervert? I mean, another pervert. Let's just put something. Let's just put something on the screen here. We may as well talk about this. Well, how can we? Okay, how about this for the question? Yeah, is there no end to this unless the public perverts? I mean, what do you think? Let's talk about it for a while. I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you think? Another pervert, another pervert. I mean, apparently it's shocking that this guy is being paying £35,000 over a period of time for naked or naughty pics or whatever it is of a teenager. Apparently, this person was 17 years old. We haven't heard whether we know that the pervert is a bloke, but we don't know if the teenager is male or female. Yeah, and also there's illegal substances involved in it, and all of this. I don't know. I'm sick of hearing all of this, but I mean, can you trust anyone anymore? I mean, all of these there's so many even in the police force. Look at all the perverts in the police force. Coppers getting the willies out. I know where I live. It's happened to to a copper where I live. He was banged up a few years ago. Well, no, he was struck off the force anyway for getting his willy out while he was on duty. And these are police, and then coppers swapping indecent images via WhatsApp. I mean, there's so many perverts in the police force and in the BBC. Do you trust anyone anymore? Do you trust absolutely? And the thing is, these people, would be the first probably people to accuse other people. I mean, didn't Philip Schofield? Didn't he put his order in, during the Operation U-Tree thing? And it's there's so many perverts. Is there no end to this list of public perverts? I don't trust anyone. I'm bloody glad that I'm not a youngster. I'm not to forget, and not to forget. And the court case is still going on because we can't. Spacey. A fine Oscar-winning actor, superb Oscar-winning actor, and Jesus God Almighty, there's no end to this list of public perverts. I mean, it makes you not want to be famous. You know what I mean? I mean, the thing is, makes you think that if you were a youngster, who had an acting talent, and you were put in the hands of these perverts. Because these are, like Schofield, these are influential people, young people who want to be in the entertainment industry. They want it badly, and when they get a breakthrough, they think, "Great, this is a passport," and doesn't really occur to them what they might have to do for it. They might have to do something that they don't want to do in order for this pervert to give them a helping hand up the ladder. They're all perverts. Let's see. Sean Harris, what are your favourite sausages, Ed? Mine are Richmond. A Richmond Irish recipe. As long as the sausage doesn't have some bloody pervert on the other end of it. Why fools? Eddie, the BBC means something else. You've been watching the wrong videos, mate. Citizen Mikey. All right, Eddie, I'm switching the Friday show to Sundays. It could be a possibility, that simply because this is early in the day and I'm kind of lively, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like the other night, because I do still work, I still do a bit of work. Friday night, I was too tired. I couldn't have given it 100%. I was just too tired. But I'll still be doing the Mondays and Tuesdays, absolutely. Paul Hoskin. Paul Hoskin, I asked my 60-year-old Thai girlfriend for some pics. I bet you she was flattered. I bet she was flattered at that age, but she was charmed. Why fools? Okay. Let's see, King, yeah, okay. In UK, I hope you well. Me and our stewards are watching you. We go to Thailand in November. Hope to see you again. Bloody good stuff. Good stuff. He's getting around it. I have a book right now because I have explained in videos that I made on the other channel. I mean, one video, I lack a little bit of travel enthusiasm at the moment. I'm thinking about other things, and also being off the booze is kind of killed my enthusiasm a little bit, but it'll come back. It will come back. Nice to hear from you, Ian. Ian Bowden. What precisely defines a pervert? If both parties are consensual and over 16 at the will, but I think a grown man personally, over 16. I think 16 and 17. That's a child. That is a child. That's a child. And whatever they say, I think that's a child. And I mean, for a grown man, I'm assuming that this is a grown senior man to be paying for we heard that it was 17 years old. I think a 17-year-old is a child, personally. I think that's a child. So, you know, I think that's any grown man who goes to a 17-year-old is a bloody pervert. Brian Street, whoever they are just wrongers, absolutely. Capitolian, come on, Eddie. Most of you are at least a bit pervy. I thought you'd be you'd be actually surprised at how dull I am. I'm not into any kinky stuff or not. I'm not into any of that. And it is all right. I've been known to have a bloody good Thai sandwich. You know, I've had a nice Thai sandwich. But no, you know, no, I'm no. You'd actually be surprised how dull I am. Popcorn. Imagine what you can do with 35 grand in Thailand. That's what's annoying me. 35 grand. You could last. You could have 2 years of bloody good fun in Thailand for 35 grand. You could stay in Thailand for 2 years on that money. And this bloody pair what were these photos all about? What were these photos all about? £35,000. Apparently, it wasn't a lump sum. Well, I'm going to pay you 35 grand to a 17-year-old. We don't know if it's male or female yet. For all these photos, 35 grand. What planet is this person on? What planet are we on for, you know, paying a BBC license? Bottle babies, the new fan spot, absolutely. Paul Oscar, is dog and pervy? No, none of it's with consenting adults. With consenting adults, absolutely, that's all right. Yogi Bear, at the moment the story broke, many were putting it on Twitter that it wasn't them. Quick to denial. Well, I don't know. I mean, I tell you what, one thing, in a way, I can't blame them. Them fellas, Lineker and what's his name? That other bloody 2-bit celebrity, whatever the names are. Anyway, they put it on Twitter. Before you say so, it's not me. And in a way, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for coming out and saying it's not me. I don't blame them, because if it's not them, then they don't want people pointing the finger at. It's not very nice. It's like you know, if you're in a workplace, if somebody does something really bad, like you know, robs the ATM or whatever, and there's maybe, you know, 10 of you in that workplace. Well, it's going to be one of them who's done it, but it's not really fair for the other 9, is it? Because everyone's going to be pointing fingers. It could be him, or you know, it could be. So in a way, I don't blame them really for coming out. They're obviously very, very confident that it's not them, so I don't blame them. I mean, the thing is, if I was somewhere and like someone was being accused of being a pervert, I'd probably come out and say it's not me. I'd say it with confidence, because I know, and that's what they're doing. So it's you know, the truth will out. Why are I filled? Bit like the kettle call. Bit like the kettle call the pot black. I don't even. Isn't it the other way around? The pot calling the kettle black. Isn't that what you mean? Okay. King also is part of a gang or group. Freemasons. The thing is, this person, whoever it is, who's done this, the name well out. This person, right? You know, people have probably known about him for a long time, because they do know when the other perverts are being exposed. You know, you get loads of people afterwards saying, "Oh, I knew he was a strange man." Look, remember when, you know, JS? We don't say his name because it's not YouTube friendly. That gets us demonetized. But JS, you know, with the with his cigar and the glasses and the white hair, you know him. When he was finally exposed after his death, How many people came out and said, "Oh yeah, I knew he was a bad one all along. I knew all about him, all this, that, and the other." Well, why didn't he bloody say it while he was alive? The cowardly bastards! Jesus Christ! Sean Harris, Ed, would you take 30 grand? Would I take 30? Listen, I'd say what, for 30 grand, if somebody wanted nude pics of me, or me bashing the bishop for 30 grand, I'd say yeah. But who the hell would want to see it? I'd be flattered that somebody want to see my 61-year-old flabby, hairy, sweaty body. For 30, I'd bloody do that for 30. I'd do it every day for 30 grand. I wouldn't give a shite. But I wouldn't expect a 17-year-old to do it. Thailand here, what would happen if a BBC presenter was found mongering in Battaya? Would he lose his job? No, no. Well, it wouldn't be considered normal. It makes us guys who go to Battaya. It makes us normal. It makes it normal what we do. Liam Doherty, is lax immigration policies in the UK good or bad? My sister-in-law says it's bankrupt in America, as well as a great number of criminals have gotten through the US system. Thoughts? We've talked about that quite a lot. We'll talk about it some other time. Yeah, Mister, gotta go shopping early. 115 for 15 days melt, Thai weather, war capitulation, demand is climate change. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Delayed Dave. Nice to hear from you, Dave. We're talking about perverts. You know, because it's topical. It's topical. Nice to hear from you. Paul Hoskin can't beat a 99 with a bar girl. You have an ice cream with a bar girl. You mean? I'd say what, but that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, you know, you meet a bar girl, and instead of buying me a lady drink, buy me a bloody ice cream. Be a lot cheaper. Yeah. Boo-hoo. If a grown man went after my 17-year-old, he'd be at the bottom of a beaver pond. Good for you. Yeah. I fully support that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you all the way there, mate. King, victim is female. Okay. Delayed Dave. I had 3 or 4 years travel out of 35 grand. Yeah, absolutely. You possibly could do that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that this is person. He's got a job that is the dream of other people. Maybe he's got the job on merit. Maybe because he's very, very good at what he does. I don't watch much of the BBC, and this particular person who's rumored to be, I certainly don't really. I know what he looks like, but I don't. Watch him on the BBC very much. But to throw away that type of money, that is an insult, aside from the sexual pervert stuff, to actually throw away 35 grand. I mean, you can switch on bloody Pornhub for free, and they're over 18. They're all adults on it. I mean, 35. It's scandalous. It's absolutely bloody scandalous. It's not just him that should be grilled. It's the whole BBC system and the license fee and everything. Yeah, Daniel said vlog at Mystery Cambodia has passed. All right, but did I hear of him? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about it. Vaguely. Yeah, Sean Harris, it might be a day. Woke, okay. Yeah, Bottle Baby, boys and girls at Wimbledon now on court playing competitive tennis. My sympathy are with boys and girls who are in the company of, there's some of them bloody, players who are not so clean either. I don't know. If I was the parent of a young child, I wouldn't want them going anywhere near public people at this moment in time. Humongous. Let's see. Paul Oscar, the internet has made things less exciting. The internet has made things less exciting than before the internet. The internet has made things less exciting than before the internet. I'm not sure I agree with that. The internet's bloody brilliant if you use it properly. The internet's wonderful. I love the internet. I mean, look, where would I be without the internet? I mean, I'm a latecomer to computers. I never used computers or smartphones until, well after everyone else was using them. But now I couldn't live without the internet. The internet's wonderful. Internet's wonderful. Who's this? Yogi Bear. I'm not Blanford. Oh, into blackmail before. Oh, God, whatever. Yeah, boohoo. Here's a question. We can't really. Yeah, boohoo's got a question there. If someone's list ever see daylight on YouTube, YouTube's very, very funny. But we can't name certain people who were involved in perversion and all this kind of stuff, because robots will pick up on the name. And I had a live stream demonetized because we were talking about white hair, glasses, cigar. We were talking about him once and using his name, and YouTube demonetized the video because his name was coming up and whatever. So we can't really mention the names of people. Yeah, you mongers, would you sign to Lisa Dale's OnlyFans for 35 pence? I'd expect her to give me £35,000 to suffer it. That's another question. Wait. I bet you if Lisa Dale, that fat, ugly, sweaty cow, I bet you if she done an OnlyFans, there are some sick bastards out there who'd want to see it. There's some dirty, sick bastards on this planet. Yeah, Sean Harris, John Lydon said about JS back. Yeah. Toby Price, John Lydon, yeah, I was at JS in the 70s, BBC band. Yeah, they knew about all these people all along, but they're so cowardly they won't come out. They come out. I mean, if I was in a workplace like the BBC and I knew someone was a perv, I'd out them. I'd bloody out them. Even at a risk to my job. My job, I bloody out them. I'd quite willingly get the sack and go working, cleaning public bloody toilets if I had to. But I would out the bastard. I wouldn't have that on my conscience. Yeah, Let's see. Paul Loskin, 35 grand. That's 1,400 bar girls, and this prick paid for bloody photos. Let's see, this person could have upset his handlers and they're making an example of him. 35 grand for dirty pictures. 35 grand for dirty pictures. Have you ever heard the likes of it? Crypto Chris card, nice to hear from you. Daniel, the internet has taken a sense of adventure out of traveling. Well, yeah. Sense of travel. I don't know, man. I think for me personally, it's added to, because I like making YouTube videos of my travels. I like making YouTube videos, and it's added something. I wouldn't say it's taken a sense of adventure. It's taken a bit of mystery out of traveling. Oh, absolutely, it has taken a bit of mystery out of it, because nowadays, you know. I mean, we used to think places like South America were no-go areas, and now we see people traveling South America, vlogging and all this kind of stuff. It may have taken a bit of the mystery out of it, but I think the adventure's still there. Bottle baby, internet's still great for finding a hotel room. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Why feels internet is great, but like Dan said, takes the adventure out of travel. Okay, let's see. Okay, who's this? Kitty Richard. Okay, who's Kitty Richard? Okay, fair. Okay, I'm just going to refill my coffee cup. Back in a minute. There we go. We're back. Anyway, we're back. Okay. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. It's great for research. I love watching travel vlogs. Remember reading travel books and heading off without a mobile phone? Yeah, me too. Me too. Let's get that. We talked about that anyway, a fair bit. Put that comment on the screen again. Yeah, I agree. It's great for research, and I love watching travel vlogs. Remember reading travel books and heading off without a mobile phone? Well, that's a good question. That is a good question. We're going to put that on the screen. We're going to put that on the screen, okay? That's such a good question. So thanks whoever mentioned that one. That's such a good question. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about that for a moment. Has the internet taken the adventure out of travel? Good question. Good question. Whoever came up with that. It might have been Daniel, or I think Paul Hoskin mentioned that as well. So cheers, guys. Anyway, so what? Where are we now? Okay. Yeah, Thailand, Iran. The internet has probably made more people want to travel, showing what they're missing out. That's good. That is good. I mean, I think the effect of the internet, it might have made the Lonely Planet guide less appealing, because I mean, you go back 20 years when I started travel, I mean 20 years or so, the Lonely Planet guide, that was the one. That was the guide. That was the essential Bible of travel, really. If you wanted to travel to Southeast Asia or South America, the Lonely Planet guide. I mean, you picked it up and couldn't put it down. Now, personally, I don't read the Lonely Planet guide. It's still probably out there. It's still probably really, really good. But if I were to know anything, I don't read newspapers too much anymore. You know, if I want to know anything, I'll go on the internet. Yeah, it's great for research. I remember reading travel books and had nothing out a mobile phone. Well, I didn't have a mobile phone. Oh no, well, no, sorry, I did have a mobile phone, but not a smartphone now as we know them. Crypto Chris guy, you putting beer in your coffee mug, Ed? I do like the Thai bars, but they're not allowed to serve it. No, this is coffee. This is Kenko. Coffee's bloody expensive. I say we're in the co-op. A 200-gram jar of coffee is nearly a bloody tenner in this day and age. Oh, extortionate. Nice coffee, though. Stephen West, breaking news. Reports coming in of 2 dead in Clapham High Street. 1 run over and 1 stabbed. Dreadful. That's dreadful. That's dreadful. Boo-hoo. Internet has also made travel easier. You can learn about places you didn't know existed and how to get there. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The internet is very, very informative. Very, very informative. In fact, it's like an encyclopedia of information. I mean, I don't believe everything I see on the internet, but it is, you use your own adult judgment. Like I say, I don't believe everything I read in print or in the newspapers or whatever. But you use your own adult judgment about who you believe. I mean, there's some out there who tell flagrant lies, usually when they've got something to benefit from telling lies. But me, I tell the truth. I tell the truth, the whole truth, whether it sounds good or not. Yeah, Toby Price. My first flight to Thailand was at Thomas Cook. I wish there was Skyscanner those. Yeah, my first flight to Thailand, about 23 years ago, something like that. I booked it at a travel agent. It cost me about 500 quid. Yeah, Yogi Bear, Daniel, I still let off without a mobile phone. I don't have one. It's funny when you get to immigration, as they are lost. Okay. Yeah, Brian Street, I think the internet opened up the whole world. Okay, I mean, the internet really took things a step further, really, because before that, if you wanted to see documentaries about the whole world, I mean, you can look at Michael Palin, and then later on, you can look at some of those adventure things, Bear Grylls or whatever. If you go really, really, really back to the 1970s, there was a program called Disappearing World, you know, and about African tribes and all this kind of stuff. But the internet is really, really, you know, usurped all of that. Sean Harris, the internet caused the demise of top shelf magazines. I'm with you there, mate. I'm with you there. Why, oh, why? Yeah, Lonely Planet guys were good, and the online forums. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. They were. I mean, I love the Lonely Planet guy. I mean, once you picked up that Lonely Planet guide, I mean, I couldn't put it down again. I was just reading, and the worst thing you could do is loan your Lonely Planet guide to someone else because you'd struggle to get it back. You know, they're plowing through it. It was written in such an appealing way. Let's see, Bottle Baby. People who say it's the subject to death is what's taking the fun away. Okay, fair enough. Daniel, Yogi Bear, that's great. You can live without one. At times I wish I never had the smartphone. They can be a big distraction. Well, yeah, you know, they can be, but it is what it is. I mean, the internet, yeah, you know, don't forget, before the internet, years ago, people used to slag down the television. I mean, you get these sort of, you know, lefty, they weren't called lefties in them days. These lefty people who would think it was cool not to have a TV set. They think it was cool not to have a bloody TV set. You know, I don't bother with TV. I don't watch TV. You know, I only read The Guardian, you know, or read books or whatever. But TV was a marvelous, marvelous invention. And now you get people who slag off the internet. Yeah, you know. But the internet's a marvelous invention. Oh, do you ever get those inexplicable itches on your nose? Yeah, delayed Dave. I still travel with the Lonely Planet guidebook. I love sitting in a coffee shop reading my LP and planning it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. What wonderful! I even got I once got a big Lonely Planet guide to China, and yet I never actually used it. I probably still got that guide. It was about 15 years ago. I got a Lonely Planet guide to India, and I did go to India and South America, of course, various guides to that one. Philip Mulville, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Okay. Yeah, Yogi Bear, King. That's why you call me that when I was 8. Okay, I'm not quite with you. Life Utopia. I still buy a Lonely Planet book before going to a new destination and like reading it before I go out there. You learn the history and culture of places which you don't get from a Google search. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. And the thing about the Lonely Planet guy, I mean, they, you know, before you enter the chapter, they'll give you the history of somewhere. And really, I suppose if you were researching something on the internet, you probably skip the history. So yeah, I mean, they still have their uses. Sprinklers, steady Eddie, yes. By the way, I'm having 1 or 10. Okay. Beer, you talking about? Sean Harris, Ed, do you listen to the radio at all? No, not anymore. No, never switch the radio on anymore. Just don't. Don't not, you know, not even in the car. I don't switch it on. No, I don't. Bottle Baby, always found the Let's Go series helpful. Okay. Why Oh Why Feels Rough Guide was very good as well. I mean, there's something about the Rough Guide though. Maybe it looked like I don't know, a more rough version of the Lonely Planet Guide. Was very, very glossy and it was written and printed in a very appealing way. The Rough Guide seemed like a cheap and nasty version to me. You know, Sprinklers, you are far too sensible now, Steady. You obviously don't know me very well. Coffee, lovely. I haven't had my dinner yet. I haven't had to decide what I'm going to have. Bottle Baby, Lonely Planet is like a backup of a computer files. Okay. Well, sprinklers, but look how many still love you, man. Okay, we'll go with that one. Cabatonian, Eddie, I watched quite a few of your vlogs before going to Southeast Asia for the first time, so thanks for that. Okay, cheers. I mean, it's really, really great when people say to you, like, they went to a place and your vlogs give them some information. So I really, really do appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Cheers. Toby Price, humidity in Chonburi today. Humidity in Chonburi today, 99%. My glasses keep steaming out. So, no, I'll read that again. Toby Price, humidity in Chonburi today, 99%. My glasses keep steaming up. Really? Well, get us that bloody go-go bar. Stop watching those lesbians in action on the stage. Stephen James, Eddie, please could move mic closer. The mic's on the webcam thingy. Why feels, yeah, it was a rough guide. News will be out to who the latest BBC paper. It might be an institution where everyone is kept guessing because it could literally be anyone. It's not a very nice scenario. That it's not a nice scenario, is it? It's not a very, very nice scenario when you're in a group or a workplace or an environment and somebody's done something really, really bad, shameful, and but they haven't released a name, and because it's not because the finger can be pointed at lots of other people who are perfectly innocent. So I don't blame them for standing up for themselves, really. Yeah, Stephen James, what are you ignoring my post for? That's the first one I've seen. It's the first one I've seen. Sean Harris, Ed, you should do a rough guide to bar girls. I'd say you what, bloody looking at some of the Thai bar girls in recent years, they are rough. They already are rough. They don't need a guide. Sprinklers, Petire in October. You coming? New Zealand here. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. K11 would never be found in any K11 would never be found in any travel guide. Okay, fair enough. So the internet's a wonderful. It's a wonderful. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If anyone wants to phone in, it's a UK mobile, and if anyone wants to phone in and tell me what you think about travel, but don't mention the name of that, BBC Perv or anything like that. We've done and dusted with that one. Or anything to say, or whether you don't like me or you don't like my T-shirt, or whether you don't like my T-shirt or whatever. So say whatever you want. Yeah, there's the number if you want to phone in. And even if you want to phone in and tell me what you think I should have for me dinner today, absolutely anything, phone in, but just make it kind of brief, sort of 5 minutes or so. Let's see. Toby Price, do you remember Magenta from the Rough Guide TV program? She was like, I do actually remember. Did she have glasses and she was very, very, did she look like a bit of a goth or something like that? I think I do remember that, funnily enough. Repair shop. That'll be supposedly post Clapham where they almost all houses over £1 million. Imagine spending all that money to live in an area with an unsafe high street. Oh, God almighty. Why feels, yes, Magenta. I think she died. Yeah, I do remember it. I do remember that. Sprinkles, yeah, make what you please of that one. Why fools? Imagine living in London. No, London, great city to visit, terrible place to live in. I've done both. I mean, I lived in London about 30 odd years ago and couldn't wait to get out of the place. Sean Harris. Ed, would you prefer to see AC/DC or Guns N' Roses? Well, I like Guns N' Roses music better, but I think AC/DC would be a better live act somehow. I haven't seen either of them. Stuart Lennox, not clever putting your mobile number on YouTube. Why not? You don't seriously think it's the bloody number that is linked into my bank accounts, and you don't seriously think it's that, do you? It's a payphone. It's a payphone. It's whatever you pay for a mobile phone call in the UK. then that's what it is. It's a pay-as-you-go phone, and whatever it is, whatever. Sprinklers. Steinkler, other people have phoned in. We've had some good calls. Since I put that on. Steinlager Classic, New Zealand's finest lager. Okay. Sprinklers, toasted sandwiches here. 1 a.m. snack. Okay. UT Inventions, hi Ed, flight book for Thailand, February 680. That's good. Despite rising price, I still think your money goes much further in Asia. Cost of alternative destinations, I could say they were very high. Well, that's good. That sounds great. 680, that's doable. Is that from London to Bangkok return? Sounds good. Okay, anyway. Oh, Gary Smith is here. Now, Gary Smith is also in Phnom Penh. Hello, Admiral. Gary Smith is in Phnom Penh. He's in Phnom Penh. So how are you doing, Gary? Gary's good. I've met Gary. He likes cycling, and he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. So nice to hear from you, Gary. I hope all's well. Why are I fools? When you're going back to Greece, Ed, I've no plans to go to Greece, even though it's a wonderful country, and the islands are fantastic. What wonderful stuff. No plans to go there. I mean, what it is, you see. I mean, in a lot of. Let me share something with you. I don't know if I've already mentioned this. But a good friend of mine went to the Philippines about a month ago. He went there for about 3 or 4 weeks. He was in the Philippines, okay? He's got a lady friend out there in the Mindanao area. And he went to the Philippines, yeah? Now, he's been there many, many, many times. But what he told me about the flight, I can do without that. To cut a long story short, between leaving here, his home in the UK, and arriving in Mindanao, took him the best part of 4 days. First of all, he had a big delay at Heathrow Airport, and then he had a big delay at Bahrain or wherever he went via. He had a big delay there. And then when he arrived in Manila, he was planning on staying there for one night. But the flight to Cebu, to Mindanao got cancelled, so he had to stay for another night before getting away. It took him the best part of 4 days overall, including 2 nights in Manila, which he didn't want to stay in. But not only that, but here's a weird one. He should have known better, and he knows it. He should have known better. When he was at the airport, when he arrived at Manila Airport, a chappie come up to him and said, taxi. Now, when somebody comes up to you at an airport and says taxi, the answer should be no. Even if you want one, just say no. So anyway, he got in the taxi. The guy was on his mobile phone, got this bloody car, loaded it up in his luggage. And the next thing, some other stranger got in the back of the car as well. And he had an altercation with them. They were trying to charge him an extortionate amount. Good job he got out at the airport, because, it would have got nasty. So basically, my friend, I had a lot of hassle, and I just thought to myself, right now at this moment, I can do without all of that. I can really, really do without all of that. Really, really can. So I'm quite happy just to be relaxed right now, drinking coffee, talking to you, and at least I'm not working with the BBC, and at least I'm not a pervert. Okay, so let's see. Gary Smith, fine here, mate. Okay. Nice to have you. Okay, David Barnes. Hello, David. Sean Harris. Ed, would you ever visit somewhere like North Korea? Maybe years ago, I might have found that interesting, but I think my adventure travel is behind me now. Even some of the places where you get hassle, I think that's all behind. I don't want to be visiting anywhere and I'd like to get any hassle or whatever. I've had all of that in the past, but I don't even want to be going to a place like Istanbul anyway. A place. I don't even want to go to Istanbul. I don't want to be shouting at everyone on the street, "Don't follow me! Don't effing follow me!" Yet I don't want to be doing anything like that anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want to go anywhere where there's hassle to it. I want a nice, easy life. Capitone, Eddie, prices from here to Bangkok have actually gone down from last year. Going in November for about 6 weeks, under 10,000 rand. That's about £400. Pretty decent. Good for you, mate. Good for you. That's really, really good. That's good for you. That's good for you. Gary Smith, worst airport I've ever been to is LA Philly. What a shithole. Philly, what a shithole. Is that Philly, Philadelphia? I've only ever passed through America, and I was coming back from Latin America, Central America, those countries, and I crossed over at Philadelphia Airport, and only in transit, but they took my luggage off the plane, and then the Three Stooges bloody interrogated me. There was a white one, a black one, and a Hispanic looking one who were rifling through my luggage, thinking they were good. They just didn't like the look of me at all. Because I'm a lone traveller, and it wasn't that long after 9/11. They just didn't like the look of me at all. Daniel, check out Montenegro down the track. Okay, yeah, that's supposed to be a nice place. Gary Smith, Philippines. Yeah, what about the Philippines? Okay. Paul Hoskin, what's the worst country where you get hassled the most? Good question. Good question. I mean, Turkey is great for a lot of places. I had a place in Fethiye, and the Turks, they're wonderful. They're nice people. But Istanbul, they're a different kettle of fish. They follow you. They follow you, to try and strike up a conversation and try and lead it into a tourist trap. I mean, you're walking through the streets, they hang around the famous sites like Sofia and the Blue Mosque and all that. They're trying to strike up a conversation with tourists and lead it into a tourist trap, bastards, you know what I mean? But also Ethiopia, a lot of hassle in Ethiopia. I mean, they are the most persistent touts that you can ever come across. I mean, one of the bloody touts actually came to my hotel room. He came to the hotel. He knew which hotel I was staying. He actually came to reception and said, I want to invite him to a tour tomorrow. So the hotel staff sent him up to my room. He actually knocked on my hotel room. This twat. Yeah, you know what I mean? So Ethiopia. That's definitely one of the worst. Yogi Bear, if you're flying into Manila, I book a hotel called the Hop Inn on Makita Avenue. They will sort out a tax that's there waiting and is the going rate. I'm a member of Hop Inn. You get a third off all rooms. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. YY Phils, India. Okay. India, I never got hassled that much in India. A lot of the Indians were all right. A lot of them were okay. There was some. Let's see. So, what was that question again? In India, yeah, India wasn't that bad for hassle. I forgot what I was going to say then. I got the Delhi belly though. Anyway, but I was walking through the streets of Mumbai, and some scabby Indian fella came running over, and apparently, he says, "You've got something in your ear." Apparently, they try and get the wax out of your ear, and piss off, bloody piss off, you bastard. And an old Indian fella said, stay away from such people. I am trying to stay away. The bastard crossed the road. I want to clear some wax out of your ear. Whatever the hell that was all about. Yeah, sprinklers. By the way, did you do Act the Kid? She looked interested. Are you talking about Earth the Kid by any chance? Gary Smith, Angeles Philippines Airport was a few years ago though. Cafe trash everywhere in the tables and staff didn't give a shite. Really, I never went to Angeles Airport. I went to Manila Airport, but I got the bus from Manila to Angeles, and it was quite an easy journey, only a few hours. Jimmy Handyman, Joe Dacker. Okay, nice to hear from you. Cy London. I found Indians to be great people. Yeah, I like a lot of them. I've met some really, really great Indians. There was a guy when I was in Goa, and this was like in 2009, something like that, 2009, so something like that. I was going into this bar across the road from the hotel I was staying in, Callan Goose, I think it was. And there was a guy there, an Indian guy called Roger, and he run the bar. And he was a really, really great guy. He run a really, really great bar. And you know, the lads there were really good. They had a little bit of live music, really, really great. And funnily enough, when I was on the internet, almost 10 years later, about 9 years later, and I had a viral video. I had a viral video about 9 or 10 years later. Funnily enough, he sent me a comment on that video, and he said, "Hi, I think I remember you. You were in my bar in Goa about 10 years ago." He actually remembered me. That's a funny old world. Life Utopia. Would you ever consider? Life Utopia. Would you ever consider making any videos about UK place of interest? Maybe around Devon, Cornwall, where you're based. Not really. I think what it is, you see, I think what it is, I mean, in this part of the country, I think they're all bloody paranoid. I think they're all paranoid. I mean, if a middle-aged, well, I'm not middle-aged, I'm old. If an old guy walks around with a camera, you know, they'll probably be curious, and they'll probably arrest you down here, especially if he's got a Liverpool accent. You know, I can imagine me walking around, you know, towns in Devon or Cornwall, vlogging, you know, with a camera. They probably think I'm casing the joint. Someone will probably phone the police. There's a fellow walking around with a camera talking to himself, and you know what? He's got a Liverpool accent. You know what I mean? That's probably what they do down in our bollocks here. Wouldn't be bothered. Okay, let's see. Kiwi, Eddie, I've just gone from Thailand to Bali to live. Really surprised what cheaper is here. Beer, $1.50 US. Lunch, Asian food, $2. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Well, I went to Bali, but you know, I'm obviously, you know, I went to Bali. I didn't have a really good experience there. But obviously, I mean, if you're happy there, well, good for you, mate. You obviously know the place a lot better than I do. Good for you. Good for you. Why do I feel? I love it. There were certain areas they follow you around all day. I hate that. I hate that. Let's see. Sure, now it's got Hasselhoff at Kuta Beach, Bali. I didn't actually. I didn't find Bali was too much of a hassle, but maybe I didn't see it in a good light. Let's see. Gary Smith. Worst thing you can do is try and use cotton buds on the ears. Okay. Why feels Kuta is terrible for hassle. Is it really? I went to Kuta. I didn't think it was that bad. I think it was that bad. Oh, God almighty. Apologies for that. I think it might be hay fever. It could be hay fever. I'm bloody scratching my nose here. Steve West, Roger or Dodger. Okay. You never know. Could bring something like that back. Yeah, Gary Smith. It cost me $15 to get the cotton end out in Cambodia. Is that what is it that they do exactly? Well, I didn't hang around to find out, but this bloody scruffy, raggedy young Indian man came up to me and came up to me. Sir, you have something in your ear. Piss off! You're touching me, you bastard! Yeah, you know, but I don't actually know what it's all about. Okay, Kiwi, nowhere is perfect, that's for sure. Just surprised how expensive Thailand has got. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's it. Why feels Bali's still cheap, but too many so-called digital nomads. Oh, is it good for that, is it? Is it good for that? Yeah, Lars Lecker, nice to hear from you, mate. Kiwi, digital nomads and Instagram show ponies, yeah, that's for sure. Lars Lecken, how was the sober thing going? It's going fine, mate. It's going absolutely bloody fine. It's going absolutely fine. Not a problem. 3 months now. 3 months. Just gone over 3 months now. Not a problem. Wonder Noma, Dhaka airport in Bangladesh, taxi scammers all over the airport. Yeah, Ethiopia's is bad for all that. Ethiopia, the taxis are the bloody worst. They're the absolute worst, aren't they? Yeah, they're dreadful for that. Richard O, in Thailand, you need a work permit to vlog there. See, this is what's causing the problem now. It's all getting a bit shitty, isn't it? I mean, go and retire in Thailand and do YouTube and all that. Yeah, they want a work permit these days, and they want you to pay tax and all that kind of stuff. Well, I already pay tax in the UK. I declared everything in the UK. Sean Harris, Stan Bob and Joe. I was in Liverpool town centre the other day. Somebody shouted, "Stop thieving everybody around." I never found Stan Boardman funny. I tell you what, the Liverpool comedians. Liverpool's known for having lots of comedians. I've never found them funny. I never thought Stan Boardman, the Germans, the Germans. I never thought he was funny. And that other one, that John Bishop, yeah, rubbish. Oh, the crap. Kiwi, I really want to travel to India with my young family, but I can just imagine a bad experience or two will really make me hate the joint and hate the people when I get home. Okay. Well, it depends on you, doesn't it? With your young family. I know people who, a young couple with children who went to India and they went out there for 3 months and they absolutely loved it. They went to Goa and they said, the little lad, they were staying in a tree house at one point, and the little lad, he loved the tree house, and he said the family, had a great adventure out there, and they absolutely loved it. So, not necessarily that bad, not necessarily that bad. As long as you take control of everything, I think you should be all right. Sorry about this. Oh my God almighty. Is this bloody hay fever? Is this hay fever? Why fools? The India earwax thing is a scam. They already have wax in the cotton bud. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Oh, is that what it is? Twat. And he run across the sir, wait, you have something in your ear. You have something in your. Yeah, obviously it's a scam, but it's a scam that I've never heard of before. The Indian earwax thing is a scam. They already have wax on the cotton bud. Bastards, aren't they? Bastards. There is another scam which I stupidly did almost fall for, but until I sussed it out, I shouldn't have been allowed. A woman came to me with a little baby, holding a little baby, and she was a nice looking Indian woman, young Indian woman with a baby, and she said, "Sir, first of all, I don't want any money, no money. My baby is very, very hungry, and I need baby milk for my baby. So could you just come to the shop with me and buy some baby milk for my baby?" And you know what? That is one of those rare occasions when I actually slipped up. I actually stupidly went with her. This was in Mumbai. I went round the corner to this little shop, and basically I was in the shop, and somebody pulled out a thing of baby milk, and I got a few rupees out, and I can't remember the price. But it was well more than what it should be. It was a scam. It was well more, and I didn't know that scam, and I stupidly almost fell for it. And I said, "That sounds really, really expensive." Oh, I'll tell you what, let's forget it. Let's forget it. So I left the shop, and some little shit, Indian shit, blocked my path out. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out of my way. Not standing for any of that rubbish. And anyway, outside, I gave the Indian girl a few rupees. But that was one of the occasions when I was a bit stupid. I shouldn't have fell for that. Well, I didn't fall for it. I didn't buy the baby milk because by then I knew it was a scam. But I shouldn't have gone with her to that shop in the first place. I shouldn't have done that. It could have turned nasty. You know what I mean? So Beware of that one. Apparently that happens in other places as well. I've heard it happening in Cambodia. If a girl approaches you with a baby, you know, my baby's very ill, needs baby milk, don't entertain it. Gary Smith, great job in hospitals here. Very good. Not as bad as others think. Okay, that's good. Gary Smith is in Phnom Penh, by the way. Yeah, Boohoo. An American vlogs about interesting graveyards and tells background stories and has close to 500,000 followers. He just visited the graves of the Allman brothers. Okay, fair enough. There's somebody who does that. That sounds interesting. It depends what people want to watch. It depends. I wouldn't want to do that, but yeah, sounds interesting. Kiwi, I'd expect you for knowing a hot location will make you jump at a coldie. I cannot walk past a mini mart in Southeast Asia after 10 a.m. without stopping for a cold one when it's hot. After 10 a.m., now you've really, really, really got a problem. You're even worse than I was. Why do I feel? Do you like Ken Dodded? He was probably a very, very classy comedian. He was probably the greatest comedian ever to come out of Liverpool. I never really. It was a bit before my time actually. His golden. It was a little bit. I remember when he was doing the EDDY Man and all that, but it was a little bit before my time. I preferred. There's other comedians that I prefer, to be honest with you. Sean Harris. Never liked Ken Dodd until I saw him live. Absolutely hilarious. Okay. Sprinklers, say you have something in your wallet. Yeah, absolutely. Wayne Kerr, nice to hear from you. Yeah. Kiwi, imagine if they pierce your eardrums with those metal sticks. Not sure their work insurance would cover that. Sean Harris, you could always get a decent wet shave in India. Okay, fair enough. YY Fuels, Wet Shave India, best in the world. Okay, I'm going to take that off the screen now anyway. Let's see, okay. Kiwi, love a proper wet shave. Turkish barber in Dubai was my best. Do you know what? I mean, I had a haircut, not a shave. I've never allowed a barber to do a shave. I do that myself. But I went into a Turkish barber and fatty him. My God, he was a young lad. He was a bit over keen. He was a bit over keen. I mean, he's cutting me hair, and then he got the fire thing out, to shrink me eardrums and whatever. And then he was massaging me, and then he was massaging me. I thought, he's going to give me a bloody happy ending in a minute. Sod this for a game of soldiers. Let's see, Mister. To achieve world government, it is necessary. WHO Director Brock Chisholm, 1940s. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Yeah, Yogi Bear. He was always at the house. He was tight as a duck's back. Are you talking about Ken Dodd there? Yeah. Ken Dodd was pulled in for tax issues, wasn't he? Tax issues. What was the old saying? Why do 50 pences have 7 sides? So that the taxman can prize them out of Ken Dodd's fist with a spanner. Yeah, Kiwi, Eddie, if you thought about doing an X-rated show, maybe delete it after straight away so you don't get demonetized. When you say an X-rated show, do you want me to prance about? You want to see my sweat? Do you want to see me in a leather thong or something? What exactly do you want? No, this is YouTube. This is YouTube, and you can't fool YouTube. It's not porno. It's YouTube. Sprinklers. Lamb's you don't celebrate 3 month society. Richard O. Ed, are you still on tomorrow and Tuesday? Yes, I'll be here at 9 o'clock. Now, I gave Friday a miss simply because I was just too tired. But I will be around tomorrow tomorrow at 9 p.m. UK time and on Tuesday because I really, really do like those. And even if there's not a great deal to talk about, well, tune in anyway. Sean Harris. Ed never ever had a body wax. I'd love a body wax. You know, I'd love a body wax. I mean, you see how bloody hairy I am. It's disgusting. I'd love a body wax, but I've never got round to that. I've never got round to that. I'd like one of those. In UK, Ed, I nearly got scammed in Phnom Penh. I gave $20 to a bar staff. She came back saying this was fake. They switched it behind the bar. Got it sorted after kicking off. There's a lot of fake bills in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Worse than $20. There's $100 bills. I mean, whatever you do, there's probably. And I've done a video about this. You know, if you have $100 bill, be very, very careful where you change it in Cambodia. Don't change it in a bar. By all, I mean, if you really, really do have to change a big US dollar in a bar like that, especially 100. Don't just like say, here it is. What I did, and I think I did it once, a long time ago. What I do, I've got $100 here. Okay, give us no, wait a minute, $100. And I'll hold the $100 bill up, right? And I'll read the serial number out loud. I will read it slowly and out loud and make sure they know. So when I hand that $100 bill, they know and I know exactly what I've given them. So don't just hand it over casually. Make a big issue out of it, and make sure that you know what they've given you. Brian Street, Mumbai in the back from Bangkok Chaos for the cheese sarnie and kind of fans again 20. Brian Street, Mumbai on the back from Bangkok Chaos for the cheese sarnie and a can of Fanta. Gave him 20 quid. He gave a load of notes back when I got home. It amounted to £1.29. Bastard. That's terrible. I did have something like that. I did have an issue like that in Istanbul. I got a taxi back to the hotel, right? From Istanbul Centre one night. And I got in a taxi, and the Turkish driver in the taxi was actually drinking a can of lager. That's right. The taxi driver was drinking a can of lager. And anyway, I got in the taxi, and I gave him, the fare was really cheap. It came to something like about 6 lira or something like that. Something like that. No, 6. I gave him a 10 lira note. Now a 10 lira. No, it wasn't 10 lira. It wasn't 10. It was 20 lira. And that was in the days when 20 lira was a lot. Now it's where it's shite. But 20 lira was a big note. I gave him a 20 lira. So he took the 20 lira, looked in his bag, and then gave me the 20 lira back. Sorry, I can't change that. I can't change it. So I like fumbled for change, and I gave him the 6 lira in change, and I got me 20 lira note back. The same 20 lira note, I tried to change that in a restaurant the following evening, only been told that note is out of date. That's an old, valueless note. It's 20 lira, but in old money, it was worth rubbish. The bastard had swindled me, bastard. But so you do have to be very, very careful. Always be careful. Brian Street, robbing bastards. Yeah, I feel the same way about that taxi driver. Wayne Kerr, I've stopped drinking for 2 years now, but it has put me off going back to the Philippines. Okay. Ian Bound, Ed, Shima Begum was also a child of 15, but must accept their fell responsibilities. Is that the one who was trying to bloody bomb us all to pieces? No sympathy at all. No sympathy at all. Wayne Kerr, Eddie could become an OnlyFans superstar. Really? You think I'd look good in a leather thong prancing around? Have you seen, what's his name? What is his name? That crap pop star. The one who identifies as they. What's his name? Sam Smith, that's it. Oh, obscene. That pudgy, overweight, dirty, disgusting person prancing about on stage and all. Oh, makes me sick. Make me sick. Kiwi. No, I don't want to see you in a thong. More so we can share our X-rated experience with the lovely people of the night around the world. In other words, you want to see a bloody big orgy. That's what you want. Sprinklers, I'm going to take myself top there. Thank you, Edward Sweeney. Okay, good luck to you. Anyway, cheers. Say London, take lots of $1 to Cambodia. It's worth taking lots of $1, but you're not going to get very far with that in this day and age. Yeah, Ian Bound. Hopefully, the Thai baht will stay at least this strong in January. Well, it's probably not so bad. But actually, the pound is getting a little bit better, isn't it? Not much. It's still well behind what it should be, but it's not bad anyway. Not bad. Why Whitefields? Can you still get Sucky for $5? No, that was in 1973. Yeah, Jet Up. A bro wants Eddie to get an OnlyFans channel. Okay. Let's see. Gary Smith, lost connection now. Back at music played in Phnom Penh. Okay. Yeah, why feels I'm never going to Istanbul after hearing all of this. Okay. Anyway, we're off it. We've been on for about 1.5 hours. We've been on for 1.5 hours. We had a nice little bit of a laugh anyway. We talked about this, that, and the other. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock UK time. Hopefully, it won't be too tired. I still do a little bit of work, you see, through the week. So 9 o'clock seems quite late to me these days. But I'll be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Let's see. Okay. Ian Bound, it does annoy me when we get cabs in Thailand. The drivers always seem to be doing things on their phones while driving at 80 miles an hour. Yeah, they do. But the things in Thailand, the drivers in Thailand, the taxis are still very, very, very cheap in Thailand. And I've never had a problem with them. They tend to be all right. Because the thing is, to get taxis in Thailand, I'd usually go on quite a long distance to get a taxi. So, you know how much money you're going to pay beforehand anyway. Yeah, Sean Harris, do you think you can get 35 grand for live streaming body wax on OnlyFans? I'm sure there's some sick bastard who'd want to pay 35 grand for me to wax my body. Sprinkle, Samson. Yeah, I agree. Yuck. I think the word I'd use is yuck. Yeah. Gary Smith, good Christmas Eve last year in Cambodia sausage rolls. I remember it well. I was with Gary in 172 Street in Phnom Penh on Christmas Eve. We had a nice little evening together. Really nice. It was one good night there. Good night, Gary. Nice to hear from you. Yogi Bear. Ed Stringfellow did it on a beach at 70. Why not you? Because he's a bloody million. He was a millionaire. I'm not. Hard Chilo, Ed, there are professional Western tour companies in China that are online. They do escorted tours to North Korea. They're with you in English. Oh, I don't think I'd enjoy that so. Nice to hear from you anyway, Gareth. Yeah, Kiwi, I'd pay $50 towards a back sacking as long as it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, sprinklers, can you please read some of the Alcoholic Anonymous book just to help us sleep? Okay. Sprinklers, you shouldn't have that seesaw around your head. Well, maybe you're like, yeah, but it's not politically correct, is it, mate? Okay, Citizen Mikey, I got in a taxi in Seoul, South Korea. The driver was hammered. He was smelling of soju, and I had to grab the steering wheel. That sounds like a bit of fun and adventure. Okay, so anyway, Mister says Dutch dude wins Miss Netherlands. Okay, so Kiwi says, go for me anyway. Okay, so on that note, I'll say thanks for tuning in. We'll make a little bit more of this. Sunday afternoon seems to be all right. We'll make a little bit more of this in the future anyway. But I'll be back at 9 o'clock UK time tomorrow night, Monday, the 10th of July. And we'll have more fun and games tomorrow. We'll have more to talk about anyway. So in the meantime, have a great Sunday, wherever you are, whether you're in Britain, America, South Africa, or wherever you are anyway. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. I'll just remove that one a minute. Thanks for tuning in. and I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Okay? Cheers, guys.